Alright, as I said in the introduction to my video, my job is to declare the name of Yeshua the Messiah before men. How did I get that job? I read in the Bible that Jesus said, if you declare my name before men, I will declare your name before the Father in heaven. So I said, hey, I think I'll take that job up. That sounds like a good deal there, because I definitely want to be remembered in heaven. So, to just declare his name and tell you what his name is, well, that's a good start, but that's not the whole story. You know, just saying his name. His name is Yeshua. In Hebrew, it means the Savior. And his name is Jesus, something like that in Greek, and it morphed into Jesus. Doesn't matter which one you use, but I like to know both of them. And if and when I meet him and he wants me to say his name, I will try to say it in his native tongue. In the kingdom of heaven, we may not speak in words. We may speak telepathically. I don't know. All right, so what is it about? Let me shoot one time here. See if I can hit this wolf, the big bad wolf here. All right. That's just about a perfect shot right there. It's possible it was so low that it didn't get anything, but I believe it got in the kill zone. All right. I believe that Jesus is the Messiah that was prophesied in the Old Testament long before he came to earth. The Messiah was well known by the Jewish people to be the Savior of the world. They often thought that the Messiah was going to be a military savior or a great king that would get them out of their trouble, which they had gotten into with the nations around them. They had been conquered. So they thought that he would restore them to their glory days when they were the dominant nation in the time of King David and King Solomon. But the reality of it apparently was that he wasn't coming to save Israel from their domination by the Romans. He was coming to save humanity from the curse of death. The Savior of the world, and not just the Jews, but everybody he was going to defeat death. And he died on the cross, shed his innocent blood, and the way that it worked in a legal sense was that since we all deserve the death penalty for the sin, all of us, not just the bad, all of us are bad. God only is good, therefore every other human being is bad. That's the truth, as the Bible teaches it and as Jesus taught it. By him shedding his blood for us in a love offering, we were absolved of those, or we were pardoned from our death penalty. The only thing that was necessary was that we knew who he was and accepted that pardon, accepted that free gift. The exact nuances of how a human being gets to where he believes that about Jesus is a mysterious thing that really cannot be understood, nor can it be explained. I certainly can't explain it. I just know that at one point I thought he was just a regular man. I did think he was a great man. And then at another point I thought, hey, this guy is God. My turning point was when I asked him. I said, Jesus, who are you? Friends of mine are saying that you're God. I can't see it. I know you're important, don't get me wrong. And I said this, I said, I'm not going to say you're not God either. But I'm not going to say you are God either, because I just can't see how it's possible. So at somewhere around the age of 35, I went to bed I prayed to God, for years, and I said, Jesus, would you please tell me who you are? He said, ask and you will receive. And I asked. The next morning, it was all clear to me. He had to be God, and there were certain reasons that he had to be God. If you ask him, he'll tell you. That's what he promised. Now getting to the point where you ask him, I'm going to shoot again. Getting to the point where you ask him now is that mysterious thing that I was talking about. Because how are you going to ask somebody in prayer to do something for you when you think that they're a regular man? Doesn't make sense. So the very act of asking Jesus really means that you already deep down in your heart somewhere believe he is somebody that you can ask something like that. So probably, all right, duckies, just trying to get the microphone. So the very act of asking Jesus to do something for you, I think means that deep in your heart, buried somewhere in your heart, you already believe that he was God. And that, I think, comes from God. God reveals that to people's hearts. He told Peter, when he asked Peter, who am I? Who do men say that I am? Peter said, I think you're the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus said, flesh and blood did not reveal that to you, but my Father in heaven. I take that to mean that the revelation of who Jesus is in the hearts of men. I don't know if it's in all men or just some men. That's beyond my pay grade to figure that one out. So I'm saying I believed in Jesus my whole life, but did not understand it until I did a lot of research. A lot of preachers preached to me on the television, on the radio. Friends told me what they knew about it. I studied it myself and looked in the Bible. And so for me to understand that who he was, which I already, I think, believed, but to get it out in the open, there was a lot of investigation on my part. And then one day I said, shoot, he said ask, and I asked. And he told me. And I became what is known as born again. I received his heart openly then, that I could see who he really was. And my journey of maturity into Christianity began, in which I am still on that journey. I am now ashamed of the things that I did. That's what being born again is, that you're ashamed of the things that you used to do, and you try your best not to do them anymore. To go ahead and sum this thing up, I will say this. Let me shoot one more thing. Study it. Look into it. Look into the different reasons that Jesus must have been and is God. Look into it. Look, we're not going to live forever. We're here, actually, I think, for that purpose on earth, is to find out who our God is. We know we were made by something. Just to say that God made us, there's a way to find out who he is. One more shot here. Study it. Look into it. Okay. But guess what? I got a shortcut. Just ask Jesus. Ask and you will receive. Study it. It's a great story. It's a great history book. It's a great holy book. Study it. But go ahead and do the shortcut. Resolve to ask him today. Jesus, would you reveal yourself to me and let me know exactly who you are?